Good afternoon, America. This is Scott in the Shot talking to you again today. It's a lot going on today, so I got a lot to say. Scott in the Shot. Right now, I'm going to drink a shot of 80 proof sour spice pear whiskey, and it's a little bit better than the crack is a little too much. All right. Now I'm watching Zelensky on this Brit Bear thing, talking about what he wants for the Ukrainian people. People, he wants security guarantees. Is that like the same security guarantees that we gave Afghanistan? We were in a 20-year Afghanistan war where we backed out, left a fucking multi-billion-dollar Air Force base, $500 billion in equipment. Is that what he's talking about? I get it. Russia went into Ukraine. I get it. But how do you combat that when they're a military country and probably the third strongest military in the world? He basically wants us to take his side and get involved to where there's a world war. Now, I know America could take out Russia in a matter of weeks, but they have nuclear weapons, and they're stupid enough to use them. So here's what's up, people. There has to be some kind of person that goes in there with a clear mind, realizing that the strengths of these other countries that are of our adversaries. Even though our adversaries have nuclear weapons like we do, they don't want to go to nuclear war unless they have to. But the Ukraine, when they left Russia back in the day, Russia wants it back. And under Joe Biden, remember when he said that thing on the news? Well, if it's a little excursion, well, that's what they did. A little excursion turned into a big excursion, and now it's a major war over there. Just like Biden took the Palestinian side when it comes to Israel. Another one of our major allies that I love. Here's what's up, people. You cannot, unless you're willing to have a world war where people have nuclear weapons, we have to come to the table and try to find some kind of peace, even if it's temporary. Because the alternative is world war with nuclear weapons. And even without the nuclear weapons, if we had a world war now, even with conventional weapons, it's going to be a lot different. It's going to look way worse than it did even in World War I and World War II. So what do? You got the Democrats, their heads on fire right now because they want to see a world war over stupid shit. I've never heard of the Ukrainians being one of our number one allies until they fucking colluded with the Democratic Party to screw Trump. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying I don't care about Zelensky and the people of that country dying. What I'm saying is he wants a security guarantee from a country that lives on the other side of the ocean. Why isn't he throwing this anger towards the European countries that are right on their doorstep? They should be the ones over there trying to deter Russia, and we would have their back and be part of it. But that's not what's happening. They want us to pay for most of it, and security guarantees. The only security guarantees that our country should be given to the Ukrainians is we will help you out with some money, and if you got rare minerals, you can pay us back. But I don't want to rebuild their country like we did Germany. I mean, that comes from taxpayer dollars of the United States of America. When we got people that work their whole lives on Social Security, put into Social Security, and they get out of it when they're 65 years old, they get a measly $1,300, $1,500 a month. But we're sending all these countries all this money, but how come none of the money ever comes back to our people? All we get is war and death. Just like the Afghanistan war lasted 20 fucking years, and you get a Democratic president, they're like Joe Biden and the Democratic Party, and they back out and run with our tails between our legs, give up a strategic military base that was a great base because of China being over there, and leave all the equipment for our enemy. Our enemy got $500 billion worth of our equipment. Our enemy. Is that what Zelensky means? Is that what the Democratic Party, that's what they mean? Because they just did it. Why are we leaving a 20-year war to get back into another 20-year war without there being a real winner? I mean, if we're going to go to war, people, at least there has to be a winner. But when it comes to certain countries on this planet, they have weapons. If one person makes a mistake and hits that button, then the whole fucking world goes up in flames over some stupid shit in Ukraine. Ukraine should have never broke off from Russia. They should have stayed there and dealt with it. That's how I look at it. Because they want us to go fight their battle for them with our money. Because they don't have the military power or the money to do it, but they're looking at us. We just left the 20-year war in Afghanistan, just left the Iraq war, and what about the other skirmishes that happen in the world? You got people eating people, cannibals in Haiti. You got the African conflicts going on. We're not over there fucking crying for all this stuff. But they want us to go to war with Russia. Now, I know we can whip Russia into conventional war, but it won't be conventional. Don't you guys get it? We have to come to terms with it won't be a conventional war when it comes to Russia and China or any country really that has nuclear weapons. That's the mistake that humans made. We allowed somebody to invent a nuclear weapon, and throughout the world we made tens of thousands of them. That means world destruction. The end of humanity as we know it, the end of mankind. I know you Democrats don't like to hear mankind, but that's the goddamn termination it is. Was it womankind? No. But here's what I'm trying to tell you, people. You can't, there's not going to be no winner in this Russian-Ukrainian war. It has to be a stalemate. And Russia's going to keep the land they've taken. Unless we're willing to go over there and lose American lives and taxpayer dollars that we don't get for ourselves, that they give away to these other countries for transgender shit, or to rebuild these countries that end up going into a war that doesn't end up ending, and then we got to rebuild it. We got to rebuild it. Just like we fought the Taliban for 20 years, and then we leave them a base, an airport, and $500 billion worth of military equipment that Joe Biden said they could never that we took all the components out. Well, they figured out those components, and they're rolling around with those helicopters and those vehicles. That's what I'm talking about. It's nothing but deceit. These people are lying to you. We need to keep our nose out of other people's business. If you want to be stupid enough to go fuck with China, fuck with Russia, and fuck with these countries that are more powerful than you, then knock yourself out. But why does America have to fucking go over there and handle it for them? There's no good way to get out of this Ukrainian-Russian conflict without us getting involved. American lives being lost. And what? So in the final outcome, we're just going to leave all of our equipment there like Joe Biden did? It'd be different if we had a strong president in office for 20 years instead of a good president being in there, a strong president being in there, and then he gets and because this country gets so stupid that we elect they cheated, a Joe Biden, and then they run away and leave all of our shit there? Really? That's what I'm talking about here, people. The Democratic Party, they want to start a war, and then they want to run when they get tired of it. We're going to run with our tail between our legs and leave all of our equipment there, leave a major Air Force base there with an airport. Really? That's what the Democratic Party wants. So every time they talk, all you hear, wah, 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 wah. And honestly, that wah, wah is more smarter than they are. God damn it. That Snoopy shit is smarter than these fucking Democrats because they're fucking retarded. Wah, 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 wah. If we're going to go fight for Ukraine, then there has to be a winner. And it says Russia's not going to play that shit. They're not going to play that shit. They're not going to play. They got their territory and they're going to keep it. And all we can do now is try to make a peace deal. And if it lasts 20 years, it lasts 20 years. No peace deal ever lasts that long. Think about it, people. They have different presidents over in that country too. Putin's been there a while because he's a fucking asshole. But besides that though, every time a different president comes into a country, shit changes. That's what makes this world complicated. Is you can have one strong president that starts something, finishes it, but then you got to rely on the next president who's from a different party, keeping the fight, keeping it real. You can't get that in today's world, and you never could in any time in history. So that being said, right now the best we can hope for is Ukrainians making a deal with Russia, and if it lasts 5 years, it lasts 5 years. If it lasts 20 years, great. But all I know is every time America gets involved in it, you got Korea. We should have took out the Chinese back then. We got Vietnam. We should have fucking wiped them out back then. We're playing games. Afghanistan, we should have won that fucking war, but we ran away, their tail between our legs, from a third world country full of terrorists. And then we leave those terrorists, all that fucking shit, all of our fucking military equipment, an Air Force base that was awesome. Really? We never did that World War II, people. We won that war, and we took that territory. We put our bases there, and they're still there. But the Democrats want to leave it all. They just want to walk away from it all. That's what's going on, people. Even more so than it was back in the past. This country is fucked up from these weird Democratic perverts. They don't get it. They don't get it, and I don't see how they're ever going to get it. You hear the shit they're talking on TV all the time. Their heads explodes if Donald Trump fires 5 people out of one department. They're like, oh my God. Like people don't lose their job every day. I've never seen them give 3 shits about people losing their job until it was these corrupt bureaucrats in our government that are losing their jobs. Now all of a sudden they care. They care when they canceled the Keystone Pipeline. Tens of thousands of people lost their jobs. You hear them whining about that? A pipeline that would have benefited us, America, and our allies. Instead, Joe Biden canceled it and let them do that pipeline from Russia to Europe. I mean, are you serious? I mean, that is what I'm talking about here. These people are fucking whacked. If we can't go against a country and win the war, then we shouldn't be there. Let's beef up our own country. Let's beef up our military spending and make sure that nobody fucks with us. But if Europe doesn't want to defend themselves, if Europe doesn't want to spend the money that it takes to become a strong European Union instead of a weak European Union relying on America to save their fucking ass again, then fuck them. Let them go to the wayside. Maybe we only need bottom line is, people, there's going to be 3 countries that rule this planet. It's going to be the United States, China, and Russia. Everybody in between doesn't matter because they're full of shit. All they want is America to give them a handout and pay their way. And when an American citizen works 50 years in this country and they retire with a $1,500 paycheck in 2025, where $15 doesn't pay for shit. You hear what I'm saying? I mean, what good is Social Security if we can't, if somebody who works their whole life, paid into it, paid for L&I, paid state taxes, and they can't retire with a comfortable living? You know why they can't? Because we give all of our money away to everybody else except this fucking country. And that is not right. That is not right. Not even a little bit. If you work fucking your whole life in this country, and if you get hurt on the job like I did, if you paid your share, you're like pay your fair share. Well, if my fair share that you took out of my taxes isn't enough, then you take enough out to where when I retire or get hurt on the job, I get a living wage. Instead of you giving billions of dollars to these other countries for transgender surgeries, transgender Sesame Streets, transgender operas, transgender surgeries. I mean, that's all they care about anymore is transgenders and homos. And I'm tired of it. I'm not saying I hate these people. I'm saying I don't want to pay their way. If you want to be a homosexual and a transgender, then you pay your own surgery. You pay for your own shit. It's not up for me, my wife, my kids, my grandkids, or any other citizen in this country to pay for your surgery to go mutilate yourself. And when it comes to the world order, come on, people. It's way more complicated than the Democrats are making it out to be. Donald Trump is talking real talk here. It's fucking Russia. They have thousands of nuclear weapons. They're not going to fucking play around. Putin already threatened to use them if anybody like us gets involved with that skirmish they're having. So here's what's up. Donald Trump wanted to make a mineral deal with them. They should have done it. And Donald Trump was basically saying, under my watch, they're not going to do shit. But Zelensky wants a fucking guarantee over the next president. Well, say this country's so whacked, they put a Kamala Harris in there. Well, Donald Trump can't speak for a Kamala Harris presidency because she's a fucking crazy person. She's stupid. She's ignorant. She's a retard. So basically, Zelensky wants Donald Trump to give them a guarantee for a future president. He can't do that. He can give a guarantee that if you make this deal with me, that I won't let Russia fuck with you while I'm the president. That's what else can you do? We elect a new president every 4 years, and there's no more a president can do than vouch for himself and the years that he's in office. You can't help it if people are stupid and they cheat and they elect somebody like Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or Barack fucking pussy Obama. I mean, that's what's reality, people. So you can't give a guarantee when you're not going to be the president for 20 years. If right now, if we had a different country, if this is still America, but a president could be there over and over and over and over and over, Donald Trump would say, okay, I'll give you that guarantee because I will defend you if that happens on my watch, but it won't be his watch for more than 4 more years. Do you understand what I'm saying? He can't vouch for the next president because that's how this country works, people. So everything the Democrats are crying about is a facade. They're liars, they're cheaters, and they're a bunch of fucking freaks. I don't know how many times I got to say, people. I mean, these people are crazy. But I don't want to see another Afghanistan, another Vietnam, another Korea, with us going and helping the country for 20 fucking years, and then Donald Trump gets out of office, and somebody like Joe Biden gets in and just fuck it, do what you want to do. That's what Donald Trump is saying. Now I guarantee if they make that deal with Donald Trump right now, Russia's going to back the fuck down, and they're not going to do nothing at least till he's out of office, because it comes from strong leadership. And without strong leadership, that's what you have. People don't attack when they're afraid of a leader of a country because they don't talk shit, and they're talking. They know they're being honest with them when they tell them don't do it. But Joe Biden was like, remember, don't do it, just don't. Well, they did it, and what did he do? He said it again. Just don't do it. Just don't. What a little fucking pussy. How can you say that as a president of a country and then cow down like a little bitch, like a little bitch when the shit hits the fan? That's what I'm talking about. It's about leadership, people. God, long live Donald Trump. God bless America. And that is what's really going on. People, the Ukrainians just fucked up. Zelensky just fucked up. We are not your mama and daddy. You got into this with Russia. If you don't know when somebody's giving you a fucking firm handshake and telling you that as long as I'm president, it's not going to happen. It doesn't have to be written on paper, because you can't fucking write something on paper when we have a different president every 4 fucking years. That's Scott in a shot. You just got schooled, Scott the Great.
Deuces, y'all.
Deuce. Deuce.